wanting to seal the deal real quick. The Primal Beast and the Primal Beast paired with the Snapfire, that's a kill lane. Tusk paired with the Nature's Prophet, that's a kill lane. I mean, if you can survive this initial 5 minutes to 7 minutes and group together and start pushing down these objectives with the Death Prophet Ember, I think Go Along might have a chance here.
Yeah, right now the name of the game is going to be making space for the Spectre on Go Along. And making space and also making potential moves for your Spectre. Right, yeah. That's going to be the big name of the game, is being able to find ganks for this Spectre to join in on.
Yeah, yeah. Spectre plays so differently now. I think it harks back to the initial sort of change of the ultimate. A lot more active and really relying on the team to get her going. You know, whether it's through setting up these kills on one side of the map or whether it's just through what VP showed us at TI, where you ink spell the Spectre, basically get her to become a killing machine on her own and get just farm these supports for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
I'll see if any shenanigans break out here.
Nah.
I love me some pre-horn shenanigans.
Right. Pre-horn shenanigans. Okay, well, realistically speaking, Go Along aren't messing around, right? Because their level 1s are significantly weaker. Maybe, yeah, Shengsi will just show some respect because the one stun on their lineup was coming his way. But other than that, actually it's a 3-for-1 trade. So Imitator squaring up in the mid lane was the only rune they actually received for themselves. A decent start for Aster, and I think for this particular lineup, it feels like every little bit is going to count such a long way because your tempo lineup, right? You talked about Vlad on the Snapfire. It's gonna do so much work.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope we'll see the Vlads on the Snapfire. I really like it.
Or even the Tusk. I'm not picky. Anyone.
Yeah, someone just get one of these two heroes.
Yeah, someone get a Vlad for your Prophet. He wants to screw them over real early. But
percentage-based damage on a high damage hero like Nature's Prophet, right? It's the same reason that Morphling builds it.
Yeah.
The 18% damage amp on a high base damage hero like Morphling, like Nature's Prophet, is very, very good.
I don't know if Erica can afford to build it. I'm also thinking like you know, one of these supports have got to get it. It's kind of like the Solar Quest conundrum.
Yeah, Erica can't.
It'll be funny if he did though. As they start trying to trade into Shen Yu. A lot of damage coming out from the tag team, and they do have to watch their backs a little bit because Picho, I think one of the common mistakes that a lot of Tusk players make is that assuming that they automatically win the trade just because tag team is on. When you're against heroes like the Death Prophet who can just turn around and sucky both you and your ally and heal back for double the damage while killing you, kinda need to watch your committals.
Well, that's why it's important in Death Prophet lanes to put the pressure on nice and early. Right? And when she gets lots of points in the Spirit Siphon, that's when things start getting dangerous for you.
Yeah, I've been on both the giving and receiving end of the Spirit Siphon, and it's a very uncomfortable feeling. It's not something that I would recommend or wish on my worst enemy. You just kind of stand there, you're like, I'm hitting him, and it literally doesn't matter.
Yeah. The Spirit Siphon, good ability. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, arguably one of the best out of the four. Smile. Okay.
I would say it definitely is.
A very quiet early game here, but might be changed since Frisk and Shengsi have decided it's time for Once to Die. Shots coming forward on Shen Yu as well, but realistically, nothing really much to be found from that front. Spectre takes an early tumble. It's kind of like what we said, this Venge spec lane doesn't really inspire the most aggression or confidence, at least in this stage of the game.
Yeah, once again, like we go back to harping on these bodyguards. Venge is a decent bodyguard, but she's really enabled by safe laners that can be aggressive. Spectre isn't the most aggressive laner.
Yeah, especially up against two strength heroes with decently chunky health pools. You don't really have any way to keep them in place, and if you walk up too close to them, Snapfire is like, thanks, you walked into the range where my Scatter Blast does more damage to you. I'll take it. Okay, well, we did.
Veil of Discord is going to be in the sights for Primal Beast. He has that Helm of Iron Will queued up, unless it's like an armlet, but
no,
it's got to be a Veil, right? Surely.
Nobody has ever done that in the history of Dota, I'm sure. Like, no, that's mildly ridiculous. Kind of a mini combo going on here, the Sprout and the Shards.
I liked that.
Yeah, I mean, nice quelling blade nerd. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it quell this, and then it just builds an igloo around you. Okay.
Used to be a days where Naga slipped through Tusk shards.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. Not really sure what's going on there.
Just a little bit of model size shenanigans.
Okay, so we did say at the start of the game that Aster, if they are able to come out of the laning stage swinging, they can really run away with this game. Now, with the current situation of Picho dying under his tower, has a Lotus as well as a stake, and some pressure coming out from Go Along as well, they are managing to tide through this difficult early laning stage. They've only given away 1 kill so far. Their cores aren't necessarily farming the hottest in terms of the Spectre, but she doesn't really care about that, right? She's going to rely on the comeback gold from some of these engagements. At what point do you think Aster are in a little bit of trouble, or do you think this early games is still very much theirs to trounce?
Yeah, I don't think Aster is going to be in too much trouble here. I think the only big winner right now is Wymo.
Top side. On to Erica. This is what we were talking about. And they'll just work him down. Yeah, the Death Prophet isn't actually a hero that you can square up against. Feature will just have to cower on this tower. But yeah, you were mentioning Wymo as the winner. Any particular reason for that? You're thinking that, you know, he should be doing worse in the lane, or what's the sitch?
I don't think he should be doing worse. I just think he's doing good for the first time this series.
Yeah, true. But
this day, even.
To be fair, we've also seen it happen where he's sort of come out of the lane seemingly statistically in a good spot, and then just kind of either itemizing or making the wrong decisions in terms of rotations, and that not basically panning out in a lot of dead net worth, as you like to call it.
That's true. I mean, it's very hard to have dead net worth on the Ember Spear when you're just building Mage Slayer.
That's true.
But like all those small items are very, very nice for the Ember Spirit.
Hero that wants to get skirmishing early on, committing on to Outsider. The TP can't come in time as the trample will finish off the bench. They might be in some trouble, but hits up TP and she's out of there. So nicely executed by the Aster offlane duo.
Yeah, your one stun is dead. What do you do? Like, who's gonna stop you?
Yeah, you can immediately see every member of Go Along just decide, okay, it's over now. Bench is dead.
Amplify damage rune for Echoes. Potential move to be made now on this puck.
For now, it seems like they're just happy trying to pressure the tower, but it seems like Picho has caught them on the other side. They're trying to run through shards as well as the Sprout. It's so many means of control. Even throwing down the coil for good measure, and they punch down Shin Yu. It's a great rotation to get that kill, actually.
That's exactly what you need to do on Echoes, right? Start making the moves. Start making the moves to pay the bills. You know, you want to be gearing up to kill as many heroes as physically possible on this puck as early as possible.
And we'll see here that 7-minute runes on the Wisdom. We're trying to... It'll be snagged up by Imitator. No thievery occurring here, as it's probably going to be Frisk just walking back there. Prophet didn't make it in time because he's a little busy at the top side, trying to fend off the aggression from the 3 heroes from Go Along.
Death Prophet's actually not doing as hot as I thought she would be in the terms of net worth. Not too far behind, but pretty far behind her counterpart in this Primal Beast, who's had a very, very good lane.
Okay. Once getting collapsed upon in this bot side, the TP comes through and they just bring the carry. No twin gates needed. Wymo, man of the hour. We gotta see what he's up to. Maybe waiting for the 8-minute rune to start something here, but carry already dead. What's the game plan?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I think it's hard to make moves on Wymo without any points into Searing Chain.
Yeah?
Because just because you're so limited with your stuns right now, it's kind of important to get a little bit more in your repertoire.
That's fair. It really is just we're all eyes on this Vengeful Spirit, right? Like wherever she goes, she's the only person who can really try and keep them in place. But Outsider is just, you know, relegated to trying to sap as much EXP as possible. It kind of feels like one of those slow burn games where you're seeing the net worth just slowly rise in favor of Aster. And you know they're going to hit this disgusting timing now. Speaking of a timing, making use of that first exorcism, Picho doesn't stand a chance. Just a poor task. You're going to try and work down this tower from what looks like 80% HP down to 0. Shengsi gets another kill in the bot side against the Spectre. I mean, they're making it look easy, right? As long as Shengsi uses the onslaught, rolls in, start punching away, all the Erica needs to do is come in and collect, and that's exactly what he did.
And Erica's not level 6 yet, which is big struggle bus to suffer city on this Spectre right now.
Oh, that's my least favorite ride.
Yeah, it's everyone's least favorite ride, and normally it's Wymo being put into this position, but now once the player that, you know, it's important to put your team on your back when you're playing the Spectre, and you're just not able to do that right now. Well, I guess your team puts you on their back, and then you put them on your back.
Yeah, it's an incredible feat of acrobatics. Just think about it, like physically speaking, like Crash, I stand on your shoulders, and then from below you, I defy the laws of physics to reach above, just like what Shengsi is doing to this Spectre right now, and lift you over my head, and somehow we're suspended in midair. That's how it goes.
Wow, yeah, pretty magical, dude.
Yeah. Speaking of magical, Flame Guard trying to block some of this damage, but it's not going to be enough as the full force of Aster converges in this mid lane. The punch up, level 6 already here on Picho, but can't stop the fly away. We're going to try and start working on this task, but even without any mana, he's not scared because his Primal Beast is here to play. Start trampling around Outsider, doesn't stand a chance. They absolutely mow down their opposition here. Snowball, trying to buy a little bit of time for Picho to try and survive, and by the silence, and no more Spirit Siphons to work with. They essentially wipe out 4 members in one fell swoop. Aster, they look large and in charge right now.
Net worth with lead 10 minutes in. It's not looking good for Go Along, especially when you compare Spectre's net worth to the Snapfire.
Oh my god.
It's looking scary.
We already mentioned it. Spectre doesn't really have a natural way of, you know, power farming. Really relies on piggybacking off of some of these pickups, and when you're not really allowing her any opportunity to do so, that urn remains with one very, very sad charge. And she remains poor.
And that one charge didn't even come from a kill, right? It came from Spectre's death.
Their own death, yeah. I like that they added that. It's like a pity charge, right? It's like...
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
It's like, okay, Invoker, you can't make anything happen, just go die somewhere, and suddenly your Cold Snap's doubly effective.
Yeah, go feed mid lane real quick, and then all of a sudden your Cold Snap's online.
Yeah. If your teammates get mad, just ping them and ping your Spirit Vessel. They wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
They're not a 2000 game Invoker player like yourself. Okay, jokes aside here, we are the fans of Go Along, and we want moves. We want somebody to give this Spectre an opportunity and not the death. But unfortunately, Aster, they're thinking otherwise. Punch up, knock down. Erica's there to claim that kill. It looks like the Spectre's sort of deep dark wish will have to wait for another 18 seconds. We're trying to smoke up now with Wymo and Outsider. But there's no one in this area right now. I mean, if you go along, who are you even thinking of targeting? Maybe give a try on Shengsi, but Veil and Plate Mail already complete along with 2 bracers. Ooh, this guy's nasty.
27 armor on this Primal Beast. You gotta burn him down with magic damage. That's a lot to ask for.
Give it a try. In comes the Spectre as well. He's already onslaughted out of there. TP available, but doesn't want to risk it. He has no clue as to whether there's a chains level or not. Outsider. Just look for him with a stun. Finds it through the tree line. Still have 1 swap available if necessary. It won't look like that's the case. After leading them on a complete wild goose chase, Go Along at least get to eat goose.
Is that what Primal Beast is? Is he a goose?
No, I just doubled down into the goose chase saying I don't. I mean by goose I mean 5 kill streak, and that might just be what this puck is on right now with Echoes jumping in so aggressively. Nice swap defensive maneuver from Outsider to keep his buddy alive. Just like that, they'll avoid any violence in the mid lane.
You know, that's a move that helps the Spectre quite a bit. Now they're going to look to make another one, but Aster, they're going to mirror this aggression.
Picho buying some time with the snowball, the egg in the middle. This is the ground they want to stand on. You pop a call onto all of them, and in comes the Primal Beast! He just melts them! They look like a slab of butter under his arms. I mean, the Ember's gonna try and turn around and do some damage to Spirit Siphons, healing Shen Yu up. For the first time this game, despite that initial disaster, Go Along are able to repel the side of Aster.
But at what cost? Once again, you lose your Spectre. And this is the fear about being so underfarmed and wanting to partake in these fights, is that you have the potential of just dying.
Yeah, that's kind of the tricky thing, especially when you're starting out with that initiation in. Some of the tips coming through, because Sheng Si, that was a beautiful onslaught coming in. So much magic damage just being thrown onto the heroes of Go Along, thanks to that Veil of Discord. And I mean, just take a look at his inventory. That Shiva's gonna be done real quick.
Which is scary, because Shiva's is a weird buildup of an item now with that such a big cost on that recipe, which is crazy to me, right? Was it 1,700 recipe? That's insane.
1,700 Dota dollars. That's crazy. Jumping in, swap back as well. Not really what the puck was expecting. Can he make it to the low ground? Finds just the edge of that cliff to hide under, and Echo's able to get his way out of there. Even at a shield rune in the back pocket, pops it just for good measure. Go Along, we've seen this story before. Limited disable, can't get anything done. They still haven't knocked down some of the key objectives you would hope for from this Death Prophet. Sure, you've already taken the mid. No, you haven't even taken the mid tier 1. Sorry, no. that is the beginning of your problems. That has to be the primary target number 1.
You gotta start counting Spirit Siphons if you're Aster. That's one down already. If you want to make a move on this Death Prophet, you gotta make sure she's got no more left in the tank.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just too much of a problem. Or at least when she's Spirit Siphoning, whoever is being targeted has to get out of there. Picho, easy pickings in his own, and, or rather in the Go Along jungle.
Quite aggressive movements from this Tusk. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. Just being a nuisance, I guess.
Okay. Well, being a nuisance has garnered him and his team a 7k gold lead at the moment as okay, just managing to get out in time. Well, wasn't able to connect with the chains, unfortunately. Oh, can you imagine if they just snag the Vision Prophet for free there? In comes the Primal Beast looking for Imitator here with the cookie and the trample damage. It's more than enough to work down the Phoenix. It's not done just yet. Pulverize is still available, so is the Kisses, and immediately throw it out. Meanwhile, the puck on the sideline silencing up the allies of Outsider. They don't stand a chance. Hold him in place with the coil and knock him down with some of the Kisses. Snowball and the punch, the Ember. Just kill after kill right now for Aster, and they look phenomenal.
That's what we call a kiss of death, and they're looking for more. Once again, One's in some trouble.
Yep, charge through, make it look easy. Sheng Si, this has to be one of the most standout performances we've seen, not only from Primal Beast, but also from this player, period. He seems so natural on it. This team knows exactly how they want to utilize this pick, and they are dancing around it with perfection.
And they find an Ancient in Stack 2. This is supposed to be the recovery farm for really any core on Go Along. Would love to farm up this little stack here, but unfortunately, Primal Beast, he's a core that loves stacks too, so he's going to clean that one up for pretty much free.
Net worth wise, top 3, no surprises. 10k gold lead, all Aster's way. I don't know what you can really do about that. The power farming capabilities on Go Along just aren't there. I say it time and time again, we're hoping, Go Along fans as well are hoping for some sort of rotation. Not the type of rotation they make on your Spectre. Again and again, once is 1-7-1. At what point do you stop positioning Outsider outside and put him right behind your Spectre just to save him in these situations? Because it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, right? You are pretty much half of your team's deaths. Like, as a Spectre, that is not what you want to see. And here's my problem with Spectre, right? I think Spectre is very abusable because it's very apparent where she's going to be. And that's the exact opposite side of the map as your team. And I think this is why Dawnbreaker sees a lot less play in pros than she does in pubs. For the same reason, it's very apparent exactly where your you're going to be on the Dawnbreaker, the opposite
Radiant's
side of
top
the map.
tower is under attack.
Yeah. So you never, like, wherever any other member of Go Along shows their face, you immediately see Aster make a beeline for the opposite direction, or wherever is the equivalent opposite corner, because they know that's where the Spectre will be farming. Still trying to occupy space in the triangle. Weimo will show himself there. Starting things out onto Shengsi, but there is a primal beast with a Shivas who just absolutely mows down Outsider. Here comes the coil, here comes the kisses. This might be the final breath for the side of Go Along as Weimo just gets slammed straight into the ground. Completely knocked out of the game. Not enough damage to work down the Phoenix before he TPs out of there, but 6-20 right now with a 12k gold lead. This is the tempo we were talking about, and Go Along. They have once again shown us that maybe, just maybe, last pick in the draft isn't their seat of comfort. They aren't really adept at utilizing the benefits of that arrangement or that selection to their advantage, right? Once again, you've picked the Spectre that you can't follow through on, and now your last pick was essentially wasted on this hero that you're just hoping gets out of this troublesome situation, but in reality it's nothing but free food for the gang. Aster put him down one more time.
Once again, some would say.
Nice.
Thank you. I worked really hard on that one. I had to workshop it for a long time.
I could tell. What were some of the other consistencies?
Once before.
Nice.
Ounce again. I don't
there
know.
we go. Okay.
Spitballing here.
He is increasing the ounces that his team has to carry because he's died 8 times on carry Spectre.
Yeah.
No, we'll workshop that one. That was a bit rough.
No, it was fine. I think it was okay. He's got to be super careful here.
Yeah, what's not fine is the state of this game for Star to Go Along if they're planning any sort of involvement in DreamLeague Season 22. It might just end here for them as quickly as it started, which is admittedly a bit sad, but that's how these kind of things work. Bear in mind, everybody, that we have 3 slots for China, and I think the region hasn't ever looked this competitive. The 4 to 5 teams that are definitely at the top, I feel like all have a good chance of taking it, and I think just from this game alone, we're realizing that Go Along is not part of that 5 to 6.
Yeah, I would say it's safe to say Go Along. They're not quite there yet.
Yeah. It's just crazy because I think like when the KL qualifiers came out, we were like, oh, you know, this team beat G2IG is so cool. Maybe they have promise.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we see them play, we're like, damn, what are we watching?
Yeah, I think that was more of G2IG not meshing as a team quite yet than it was Go Along being the superb team.
Yeah. And I think before we carry on, let me just make it very clear that I don't think these comments particularly come from a place of bias against Go Along or bias for Aster. I think it's just everyone who's playing Dota can see it plain and simple that they just aren't on the same level, right? I think the games today demonstrated that whether or not it's a seasonal thing for Go Along, whether it's a patch thing, we don't know because they haven't played since, or at least they've been playing very sporadically and changing their roster. But it's clear that there are some parts of this roster that are still lacking in terms of communication and being on the same page, or at least the initial strategy that they're trying to go for in the draft. I mean, Aster, they're just going to very easily walk into this bush and throw away for themselves.
And this is one of those times where I usually like to say I hope this team sticks together and they can mesh well, but I don't know, maybe Go Along, it's time for a roster swap. It's time to switch things up a little bit again.
I guess the sad part is that they just recently did that, right? Some of these components, like you mentioned, are new. It was, let me just see here. Yeah, I mean, the big story of this lineup just kind of feels like all these players with somewhat a chip on their shoulder, right? You talk about once, I think we mentioned it in the game number 1 as well, the carry player that was kicked by Team Bright, while the rest of his team members remained intact and Team Bright was still able to be successful. You know, you can tell from the way that he plays, there's something that he feels like, okay, you know, I really need to prove my worth as a carry player. Kind of similar situation as Xiang Yu, who got his one sort of momentary stint on LGD and faltered, and from there they just sort of were like, okay, you know what, we'll have New instead. I think it's tough when watching this game because it's 18k. It's kind of feels like mild strangulation. I'm not sure where at what point once becomes relevant?
It's got to be the Manta style, and you got to start looking for some sort of pick off.
Okay.
But like that is so hard. I mean, Tusk has been making some aggressive movements on your side of the map, right? Farming lanes that he shouldn't necessarily be able to farm, but you're just so far ahead that you don't know who's behind that Tusk.
I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Every time they initiate on somebody on the side of Aster, in comes the Primal Beast onslaughting onto like 3 or 4 in perfect sort of trajectory. They'll lose the Vengeful Spirit, but at this point it's nothing to even write home about. Wymo goes down again. 11, 1, and 9 Shengsi on this Primal Beast, showing why it's such a pick of power for this team.
This has got to be one of the best Primal Beast performances I've seen in a hot minute.
Yeah, I will say it's these individual onslaughts that he's collecting on multiple members that really have impressed me. Call out onto once again. Actually pops the Shadow Step, trying to work down Picho, maybe catch him off guard with the Blade Mail. Unfortunately doesn't work, so I mean he's just gonna be able to collect those Lotuses, get back up to fighting fit shape. And yeah, 6 to 26. The gold lead goes on. Win probability from Mr. Monsieur Gabe. He believes that Go Along have a 2% chance of winning this game.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Yep, that
think
feels about right.
Okay. What is the 2% though? They try and commit on
What
the
is the
nature.
2%? I don't know, dude. I'm not in it.
Yeah, neither.
Dire's
No.
courier has been killed.
Walk up to dude, like Shengsi feels so confident that he's just walking up the high ground, threatening a power rise, and now he's gonna just onslaught in next to the Vengeful Spirit swap, and they'll be able to punch the Ember down. And I think, you know, Go Along, they're starting to accept that might be this might be the end of their run. Maybe discussing some of the things that might have gone wrong, or how they sort of ended up in this position, but I'm not really
One last
sure.
fight.
Yeah, maybe give us one last fight at the final racks or something like that, but at this present juncture in time, it doesn't feel like anyone can really even contest them.
Yeah, it's getting to that point, isn't it? I mean, Death Prophet has a BKB? Copium? Maybe? I still don't think that's enough, though. I really don't think that Aster at this point care about your BKB.
They are gonna run for an A, and they stun the BKB Prophet, who's just gonna walk it off. This has been the problem throughout the entire game, and now Echoes will just turn around with a coil. They're not gonna commit for it because they're busy killing off once in this top side. So that's your Spectre gone again. Parasma completed for Nature's Prophet, so he's gonna be absolutely trucking them with his int. Man.
Same thing, right? Spectre, where's Spectre's team? Oh, they're defending racks. Okay, that means Spectre's probably out somewhere farming on the top. Find the Spectre, kill the Spectre, very easy.
Straight back onto the mid, rather, sorry, the bot. Damn, I'm getting all the directions wrong. This is the top tower. I'm getting the top tier 3 tower. And for what it's worth, their push is pretty slow, right? They need to slow siege it. Prophet isn't really this hero known for an insane amount of working down your towers while you're going. Sure, you're going to do that later on in the game, but not just yet.
Not anymore, at least.
Yeah, they really tuned that down. It was so annoying, honestly.
It was unbearable, dude. It was so bad in the early stages of Dota, Nature's Prophet.
Oh, perfect ward in the lane. Catches him out again. Get any continued control? Of course we do. There goes the Ember.
No buyback on the Zemmer Spirit for a little bit more gold. 218 gold away from buyback. Maybe if you get a bounty route, Ember Spirit gets buyback, and maybe you can take some sort of fight, but
yeah, I mean, he buys back just to get pulverized again and then die back. And
Dire are scanning.
no,
look at the scan. They catch once again.
Are you serious? Oh, they don't see him.
They just
don't see him.
Oh no, yep, no, now they do.
Yeah, Imitator actually does quite a bit of damage to Picho, and once it's just gonna die. Wow, that was sad, to say the least. And meanwhile, Aster with some bullying Go Along on the front lines. This is
That probably just looks so defeated. What do you do?
This is a try again mix event. I think.
Yeah.
This is a regroup and figure out whether this is really a winning combination of players, whether this is really worthwhile working out, or whether you want to look for a different sort of environment. Because as much as I respect some of the names on Go Along, this performance has just been a bit more. I'm sure that more than anything they aren't too pleased about it either. So we don't need to harp too much about it. If anything, Aster, props to them for basically playing that best of 3 and still being able to sort of pull together, come back and, you know, in a way still smash the opponents for them. Here comes a buyback. Death Prophet looking to want to stand for one final moment. Not convinced the Mental Spirit will have the mass buying back now. As the Aster heroes getting a bit low. To the BKB, they found the Primal Beast, and Shengsi will likely fill the last part of his name and die. 60 seconds without your Primal Beast, but it did cost you basically 2 buybacks, an Exo, an Egg. So,
and literally everything and the kitchen sink.
True, yeah, that's basically it. It's a positive goal change for the first time. It feels like this entire game towards Go Along. Nice chunk needed.
I just honestly don't think there's a way back for Go Along.
Okay, so let's explore a couple of different avenues here. Jump scare, catching someone out, not really feasible because Ember doesn't really have enough damage. Team fight, kind of warped because Shengsi has been hitting insane onslaughts and pulverizers, and Echoes is just so annoying to deploy. Split push doesn't really work because the Prophet will just run to you and threaten you out of there by himself as the pause one. What is the angle? Like, are they just relying on ratting? Even ratting doesn't really work in this game.
No, because Tusk, Nature's Prophet, even Primal Beast as well. Puck.
Yeah.
There's so many heroes to jump you from the fog.
You stand literally in the creep wave, and then suddenly a cookie comes out, and then you're dead on your screen.
Yeah.
Oh, they caught him again. It's this ward. It's this damn beautiful ward. Goodness. And the BKB, I think our observer was trying to tell us it was in the backpack. Or it just wasn't ready.
He just bought out for it, and it went into his backpack.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that means now no buyback on the Ember Spirit.
Yeah? I mean, like we already mentioned though, push is pretty slow from Aster. You have to slowly whittle this one down.
And they should be able to, especially without the Ember Spirit for another 15 seconds. But it's so weird. Like, the Ember and the Spectre, they've died so much that their death timer isn't too long.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Now, there are some decent auras purchased by the side of Go Along, right? Like, for example, your Phoenix has the Pipe completed, your Venge has the Solar Crest. It's all pretty good stuff to use to try and match up against our opposition right now. Mid lane, there's a fight. They're straight onto the Vengeful Spirit, trying to trample her down, prevent any sort of save from coming out. The egg just doesn't stand a chance. Frizz walks in, sacrifices his life. There's a buyback from the Phoenix. They want to get more though, but Echo's already out there. The Lincoln's gonna block a spell. Now they're just turning back around. Onslaught coming through, looking for the Ember, popping that Axe Uproar as well. So much damage all over the floor. You need to get yourself out of here. The Remnant will do so, but he still falls in the base. Erica just stands his ground, pummels away, and the BKB pop just auto-attacking them into the grave. Sorry, brothers, you ain't going out of the close qualifiers.
You are. You are going out of the closed qualifiers. That's exactly what you're doing.
That's true. Yeah, you're being kicked out of the closed qualifiers.
Yeah, literally. After that Walrus kick on the Spectre, that's exactly what's happening.
Oh, I mean, Erica needs to watch himself not to kill himself, but at this point, I don't think he cares. Go Along. They unfortunately will not be able to match up to Aster 8-44 with a matching goal advantage. 43k. That is just disgusting. And yeah. Ancient's gonna fall.
It's not over till the Ancient falls, but okay, now it's over.
It's done.
Yeah.
And alongside it, Go Along, unfortunately, will be the first team bowing out.